Hi everyone, it's Christina from the DIYmommy.com, and today I want to share with you some thrift store shopping tips for Christmas and everyday, plus show you what I made for Christmas with my thrift store find. Today is Hillary from Old World Home's $5 Goodwill Challenge Day, and I love these challenges. I think it's so fun to find a thrift store item and upcycle it or use it in my decor somehow. So make sure to check out the link to her channel. I'm going to leave it somewhere up here and down in the description box below with a playlist to all of the videos in the $5 Goodwill Challenge. So today my thrift store idea is an upcycle for Christmas for my decor this year, but I wanted to share with you some tips as well for thrift shopping this Christmas. So last month on Instagram, I joined one of my friends, Ashley. I'm gonna link to her Instagram account down below, and we did like a virtual thrift store shopping day. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm at the DIY Mommy there because I share lots of behind the scenes stuff that I don't always share here on YouTube or YouTube stories. I also love chatting with you guys on DMs there as well. Okay, so my first tip when you're shopping at the thrift store, especially around the holidays, is to check out your local thrift store for Christmas trees, for faux Christmas trees. Lots of people will donate their Christmas trees to the thrift store. Maybe the lights don't work anymore, but it's really easy to string lights on a Christmas tree. I will link to a video where I share my method of doing it. My second tip for thrift store shopping during the holidays is to check out their little brass items selection. So when I went to the thrift store, this is just Value Village in my hometown, I found this fantastic French horn in the brass section, but there's all sorts of other brass items that you could use for your Christmas decor and your everyday decor, like brass candlesticks, maybe like a brass lantern. You could add some festive things to it. So many ideas. Brass is definitely making a comeback over the last few years, and it's, I think, such a classic for decor anytime. Tip number 3 for shopping at the thrift store is to check out their seasonal dishes, so their Christmas dishes and plates. I think a really great look is mixing and matching Christmas dishes, so you don't necessarily have to have all of the same set. You could have, 3 of one, 3 of another, 3 of another, mix them and match them, and then just put them on top of white plates. I think that is such a cool look. Tip number 4, not necessarily for Christmas, but for any time, is to look for spoon racks to make little hangers for things out of. You might remember I made a jewelry hanger out of a spoon rack a little while ago. I'll link to that video up here, down below. And I found another spoon rack the other day that I want to turn into a necklace holder for my 5-year-old. She's been asking for a similar one for a long time, so I found this one and I wanted to make her a similar thing. Tip number 5 for thrift store shopping over the holidays and any day is to check out their craft selection for bits of yarn and string. So you could make a tassel banner like I made. I will link to my video on that. I have mine up this Christmas, but you could also have it up any time of the year. Also fantastic for making pom-poms for gifts, for decorating. I love pom-poms this year, you probably know that. So check out the yarn selection. If you find that it's a little bit smelly perhaps because it's been in the thrift store or someone else's home, you can leave it outside for a little bit to air it out. I've even seen people throw their yarn through the washing machine on the hand wash cycle and let it sit to dry if it's really smelly. So there's definitely options if you need it. And the last tip for thrift shopping, tip number 6, at the holidays, especially at Christmas time, is to look for little ornaments or little Christmas houses that you could easily update with paint. So you might remember I found some at the dollar store that I painted white. You could do the same thing with thrift store items. So a nativity scene, Christmas village, easy update with paint, white chalk style paint, sanding. You can kind of give it that farmhouse or that French country look. So like I said, I purchased from my recent thrift store trip that little spoon rack to make a jewelry holder for little B. Plus I did grab that French horn. I thought it was so awesome. It was $5 Canadian, but I did have a 20% off coupon because I donated earlier. So it was $4 Canadian. So it was a really great deal. So now let me show you what I made with it, and let me know down in those comments below what you think of these tips, plus what you think of what I made with this French horn. Let's get started. So here's the horn that I got. Again, it was $4.99 Canadian, 20% off, so around $4 Canadian. I imagine it was used for Christmas decor in the past because it had this red string on it and a little bit of like leftover glue or something for some greenery. So I just cut that off, and then I grabbed a bunch of faux greenery and ribbon and ornaments that I already had on hand. The greenery is from Michael's a couple years ago. The ornaments are from Michael's as well, and the ribbon is also from Michael's this year. So I love keeping lots of faux greenery around. I think it's a great investment because you can use it over and over again. So I decided to make a little swag that was going to incorporate this French horn. So to do that, I just layered a bunch of my favorite faux greenery, one on top of the other. So I have a longer piece on the bottom and then a medium-sized piece in the middle, and then a shorter piece on top. So one tip when you're creating a swag is just to use lots of different colors and textures of greenery and to kind of think of that teardrop shape. Next, I tied them together with some floral wire. I just tied them nice and tightly, round and round a few times, and then twisted the ends of the wire together just like this. And I was really happy with the shape. I wanted something just romantic and natural looking. So then I decided where I wanted to put this French horn. So I first of all thought it looked nice this way, and then I considered maybe putting it upright this way, but eventually I decided I liked it this way. Now I'm taking some twine. This is from the dollar store, I believe, and I'm going to wrap the French horn around the swag with this twine. You could also use floral wire for this as well, but again, I wanted to kind of go for this really rustic French country look, and I didn't mind little bits of twine showing in my arrangement. So I just wrapped it around several times around the French horn and the branch, and then just tied it in a square knot to secure it. Then after everything was done, I took my wire cutters and I cut the tops of my greenery. These like flew across the room. Next, I took some 2-inch wide ribbon. I believe this one is from Michaels this year. I have been asked to link to this ribbon, but I can't find it online. I just found it in store, but I loved the metallic fringe on it and that it's just like a really subtle neutral color. So I'm making a very loose bow with this. It's nothing really formal. I'm just kind of looping the ribbon back and forth and twisting it in the middle until I had 3 loops on each side. And then I'm taking some more of that twine and tying it around the center of the ribbon. Again, I'm not too worried about something that is extremely symmetrical or perfect because I want this whole thing to just look really relaxed. Next, I'm fluffing out the loops on my bow. And then I'm taking some more of that ribbon and tying it around the center of the bow and leaving a couple of long tails. Then I'm taking the bottom of the tails and I'm folding them in half vertically and cutting them at an angle to create 2 little triangle shapes in the bottom of the ribbon. Next, you can decide where you want to hang this ribbon. I knew the tails should go behind the French horn just so that you could see both sides of that French horn because it's just so pretty and certainly the focal point of this arrangement. Next, I had these small little glass ornaments. They were from Michaels last year or the year before. I love the scale of them, so I was trying to decide if I wanted to hang them inside of the loop of the French horn. Another option was hanging them below, so I think either one would work well. Then I took this small string from Michaels, it's a little bit metallic, and I tied each piece around each of these 3 glass ornaments with a square knot. Then I just trimmed the ribbon to kind of like a general size, and I'm going to trim it again later in the right length. So basically you want to stagger these ornaments, so have one higher up, one in the middle, and one on the bottom. So eventually I decided that these would look better hanging from the bottom of the French horn so that there wasn't too much going on the top. So then I just took the ends of the string and I tied them in a square knot onto the bottom of the horn. Then I took my hot glue gun and put a little bit of hot glue onto the back of the big bow I created, and I applied it to the top of my swag. You could also use floral wire again to attach the ribbon. That's completely up to you. And here is how my decorative swag turned out. I also put a little dab of hot glue on the knots on this piece just to make sure that they didn't fray and my ornaments didn't fall off. I think this turned out so pretty and romantic looking. I love how that French horn looks. The gold of the French horn I think looks really nice with the gold of these glass ornaments. There's so many options with this piece. You could do so many different things to personalize it. Different colors, different textures. You could add some things to the swag if you like a little bit more decorating on your swag. So I decided to put this on our headboard in our master bedroom. I totally love the look. Not too sure of the practicality of this. I can imagine myself maybe like being bonked in the middle of the night with a French horn. So I don't know if it's gonna stay here, but I do love the look. I might move it to our dining room for now, but I'm just gonna enjoy it here for a little bit. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed these thrifting tips along with this DIY with this thrifted French horn. Again, let me know down in those comments below what you think, and also check out Hillary's channel and the playlist with all of the $5 Goodwill Challenge Christmas videos. I can't wait to watch them all and get some inspiration on some budget-friendly decor ideas that we can do for the holiday season. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more DIY and decor ideas on a budget. Check out the DIYmommy.com for all sorts of inspiration for your holidays and your everyday. And I'm going to leave some more videos that I hope you guys will love right up here.